sleeping through these fever dreams. I'm floating through the field of green and orange blue. So hold me in your hand and squeeze. Play me like a fool, I'm bring me back to you. I'm living in a magazine. You're flipping through. So tell me, is there somewhere you would rather be? I can tell you stepping right through me belong to something new. Oh, 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 oh,
Yeah. So what is this we got? So
Pipeworks.
We got this.
Cinnamon Bureaus.
We are here at On the Fly Research and Transportation, drinking a cinnamon Beerios, courtesy of
Is that what that's fucking called?
Beerios, cinnamon Beerios.
Bureaus.
Beerios. I shouldn't have drank so much already. So we're drinking cinnamon Beerios from Pipeworks, and we have the guys from Laughing Arcs here. We have Ari.
Yo.
Say hi, Ari.
What's up, Ari?
We have Tyler.
Hey, Ari.
Say hi.
Hey, dog.
Also say hey to Ari.
Hi, Ari.
Hey, what's up?
And we
Hey,
got
man.
Carter. Say hi, Ari.
Hi, Ari.
We got Foz from Lunar Ticks too.
Hi.
Say hi, Ari. And we got Billy. Say hi, Billy. Ari.
Hi, Billy Ari.
Billy.
What's up? What's up?
And yeah, we just did a little bit of recording in the basement. Recorded 2 new songs. One Laughing Hearts song and one Lunar Ticks song, kind of combining forces. So yeah, what was your guys' song called?
That song doesn't have a title.
Does it
Yeah,
have a
just
name
a sort of untitled. We've just been calling it Slow Guy.
Slow guy.
Yeah, it's
Slow
a
Guy.
slower one. You know, very descriptive song titles.
Which
when
is
you-
we're running out of songs to call Slow Guy because we've written like a bunch of slow songs.
I was wondering how many
recently.
slow songs you guys actually have. Like,
We've got a couple
Probably
actually.
like
We've been
3.
kind of working on
3 slow guys.
slower
all
material.
unnamed.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To some
kind of
extent,
unnamed.
yeah.
What was
I mean,
the-
Animals kind of
Animals.
like that's one we
Yep.
did last time.
Yeah. So
And,
we
We
did.
haven't been playing that one. Eh?
Yeah, we did this recording at the Laughing Hearts house. They live really close to us. And just one day, it was like a random day I had off, and I was like, "Are you guys hanging out? Let's like record some music." And we did the same thing we kind of did today. We just like went over and recorded one of my
Swap
songs, recorded one
songs,
of their
basically,
songs.
yeah.
And it was really fun and awesome. Like that
Yeah.
Animal song has that really cool spacey outro. jam.
Yeah, I know exactly. See, it's
Yeah.
another song we didn't write an ending to,
Yeah,
right?
so
Like
it's
it's
just
another
It
just
got-
picking
the
songs
ending's
that
like
were like,
a
yeah, we have a
minute,
verse, a
minute or
chorus,
two.
a turnaround, and then
Yeah, but that yeah, on
outro
4-track cassette.
jam.
Yeah, and that was.
Default to a spacey outro.
Yeah. Well, I got to play bass on it.
Yeah,
so I
no, it was
kinda-
awesome.
We had that
I played
halftime
drums.
thing that was
Still
fucking
lusting it
sweet.
up.
Upside
Yeah.
down
hard.
bass.
Yeah, upside down
Yeah.
bass, super Phil Lesh kind of.
And then we
crazy,
did, and then we did
overspacey.
Molly, and that song
Yeah,
was
Mo-
super
Molly.
fun. I
Yeah.
really liked
Not the
it.
drug.
Not the drug. We did a song
Sounds like
titled
a night.
Molly.
Tyler.
Yeah,
But we did,
Shit,
we did
God
mushrooms
damn it.
before we recorded Molly. So yeah, we did one of my songs called Molly, which was really kind of a country twangy one, which was fun. Kind of do a different.
doing the harmonies and
different
stuff.
style.
It's a
Yeah,
great
and so
time.
I
And we did
had-
it all to cassette too. Which,
Yeah, we did it all like live to cassette, and that's one of the things I want to talk about with you guys. You recorded, or you have like your album on cassette. You guys just sell
Yeah.
cassettes at your shows.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, it's kind of interesting to me because, like, it's kind of an antiquated technology.
Yeah.
In some ways, but like, it is kind of making a comeback, and there is like there's an aesthetic to it that people like. I have that in my room that I listen to our thing we did. So maybe I just kind of want to see what you guys thought about why is that work?
Yeah, so
why
like
does
even
cassette-
more so than like the aesthetic, which definitely is like a big part of it, right? People like that kind of shit. You have the cassettes are cool in themselves, right? I
Right.
like them and they look neat, and also they're really tangible though, right? Like that to me is the big part of those is you can buy something besides like a download card, or you know, vinyl's fucking expensive, so we can't easily produce vinyl, but the cassettes, they don't cost much to make, and we just burn them in our living
Yeah,
room.
you can do
and
it at
so,
home. Just dub it.
We do.
Right,
We
we
bought
just-
a cassette, like a cassette duplicator.
Yeah,
and we just like
sit there and we fucking crank them out. One of
It's
us
easy
cuts
merch.
artwork out, and we do
Yeah.
that. We write little notes on everything, put them in
Right.
there, put stickers in there, business cards, the whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's
then you
kinda
got
like-
yourself a little package there. Costs
Yeah.
us nothing but time, really,
Right.
and a little bit of
Well, I love that
initial
you-
investment on that, and
Yeah.
then you're good to
Yeah.
go.
I love that you say the tangible thing, because like it in some weird way, even though it is, you know, a CD is a tangible thing with artwork. It's not.
I don't like
as-
CDs anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the thing is, like, also when you're home burning CDs, like, we might just be fucking dumb, but like, we have a hard time making them work in like every.
They're
CD
inconsistent.
player.
The cassettes pretty
Right.
much work every time.
Somebody will be like,
Okay.
"Hey, it didn't work in my car." You're like, "Well, I don't fucking know what kind
Right.
of
because we don't
radio you have in a car,
we
man."
duplicate
Like,
them ourselves
yeah.
usually.
Right.
Like we make all the merch.
But and
Yeah.
I love you guys do the artwork and you like draw on it, and like I have a bunch of old dead tapes in the basement, and like each of one of them has like a specific art design by whoever did it, and it's like a cool real thing.
Dude, that's definitely an
Yeah.
inspiration for us. Like
Yeah.
that kind of
Absolutely.
artistic stuff. Just because like not everything can be like mass produced that we do. Like I feel like we create like more art than like what we put out, and like as a way
Right.
to like just kind of get out their creativity. Like we'll put in like the merch or like
It also
something,
gives it a bit
you
of
know?
like rarity to it.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think something we're gonna start doing is
It's
like
unique.
doing more
Right.
stuff like this,
Special.
doing more stuff like this, where we're like doing some like one-off recording and stuff, and that's
cassette.
yeah, like cassettes and stuff. Like we've actually sold some, like not just official releases. Like we've made like mixtapes of like 8 songs.
Yeah.
That were just like
There's some
recording
fucking weird
around-
ones
That's
out
awesome.
there.
Yeah, and like we've
yeah.
sold
That's the one I
those.
gave you, which
Oh,
that
yeah.
had
Yeah, we've
it's,
sold those.
That's a great
Just
tape.
because like
Yeah.
we make them and then you know just and honestly we just give them out, so they're kind of cool even if you never listen to
Yeah.
it. Like yeah, especially when we draw on it, it's just kind of fun to get
Yeah.
out. That's not like an official release or something you have to put on Spotify or like have pressure putting it online and stuff.
Right.
It's
Half
just
the
like
time people buy it and don't even listen.
The people that would
They're like, I don't have a cassette player.
right. Well, the people that would want the cassette actually you are gonna give a shit.
yeah,
Like they're not.
exactly.
It's not
Likely.
like an
Ideally.
MP3 or something. Well, you know, it's
Right,
Right.
Like,
I've
I'm
had people
mailing
buy them that are like, I don't have a cassette player, but I'll buy one. And you're like,
so
Awesome.
interesting.
cool, man. Yeah,
That's
like,
so-
because
Most
it's
people say
tangible.
They'll
man.
find
It's,
one, though.
it's
Cool.
something
They'll
they can
find
put
one.
on their
So,
desk
yes,
and someone's going to
exactly.
ask them about
Or
it.
the
Right.
it's like
Oh, why do you have a
business card.
cassette?
Right.
It's antiquated.
Right.
We take the cassette, we put a business card and a sticker in
Yeah.
it.
Well,
you
there's also something cool and mechanical about it because it's actually like
It's real.
whirring gears
It's right
and
there.
turning spools,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
not just a.
And Ari and I, when I first
disc.
got that, the like 4-track cassette recorder thing, we made a whole shitload of tapes just in my
Yeah, just like a
room
bunch
at my
of
parents'
demos.
house. Like, one microphone, Ari and I working out, hashing out a bunch of tunes. We're like
Yeah.
trying to finish up, and
Well,
they're
besi-
great to listen back on.
Besides even the thing of the artwork and it being the tangible thing, there is, and I know you guys feel the same. There is a quality to the sound that you can't do. You can duplicate by like putting a tape effect on a thing, but like the actual tape sound
Yeah.
is something that I love.
I love it too.
It's nice to be sitting right with them, you know.
You know, I would just wonder what you guys would just talk about that.
No, I definitely like it. I mean, it's just like, for me, like there's a whole different element of like, it's not visual, you know, because you're not looking at a computer. So then like, not just the sound, but in like the quality of the way you record. Like it's more like you just kind of have to go for it, and like you end up getting like some weird shit in the same sense that like there could be like a mistake on the recording, and then you're like, well, guess that's cool, and then that's why like we produce those, and it's not something that we would always use for like an official something.
Right.
You can't stress
but it's
out
like
too much about
but
it
that
when
shit's
you can't
that shit's really cool. I think that
go back.
stuff's so cool, and there's not like a
Yeah.
I don't know, like just trying to find an avenue for the stuff that like we don't necessarily deem like perfect, like something that
I
like
think
a
that
record
kind
would
of
put
makes you
out.
play differently too, because that's one thing. Like I viewed something as a mistake more often when you have the ability to have all this accuracy to do all these punches.
Right,
Dude,
if you
yeah,
go back
all
and
the
fix
time,
it, then you're
right.
gonna be like so irked about that shit.
If
And
it's
then
where it's something where it's just like, all right, for this take, like whatever happens, like this is maybe you only have this much time left, this much money, or like
Right.
this much, only one tape left, and you're just like, well, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Your decisions have to
Go
be
for
more
it.
like, you know, stringent and like you
Yeah.
have to like really.
You're
like,
more in the moment
And-
too.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
When
if
you-
you guys will do this too, but like for me, like if I'm recording and I do something that I would consider a mistake, if I left it that way, then you have to like play something else later on to make that not sound like a mistake too.
that's
you
that's
gotta
the
double
thing.
down on it. Yeah,
No, that's
what
the-
I
that's the
remember
biggest
hearing
thing
that
we do
as
is
guitar
every record. That's
solo
the
advice
fight.
from one of my old teachers. He's like, nothing's a mistake if you just fucking do it again later. And I was like, that's hilarious. And I think
Also,
about it sometimes. I'm
kind
like,
of-
you just
yeah,
do it
yeah.
a second time, and you're like,
Like,
that's
and
right, I meant
everyone
to do
will go
that
like,
shit earlier.
again.
It's the equivalent of walking and tripping, but not looking around to see if anybody's.
Or
just keep on
walking and
going.
tripping and then tripping again. Like, that's just how I walk, dude. That's just how I walk.
Look,
my
look at
style
that
of
idiot
walking.
tripping. Oh, that's just how I fucking walk. I'm an asshole. I feel bad.
Right, you just project that.
You fall down and trip, and then you're just like, oh, no, I'm doing push-ups right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I like that.
right now.
You fall and you're like, oh
Yeah, but-
yeah, just
I think there's something to like capturing like the side of us that's not perfect, because I feel like that's what our show is.
Perfect.
Our show is more like, you know, and I like that. I think that's what people enjoy about it. It's like live.
It's
like
vulnerable.
we have
Yeah.
it's like vulnerable,
Yeah.
like live. Like we have like a live feel for sure.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna be perfect during a show.
Right.
But like when we do recordings, like it's definitely about like making the best song. So like
Right.
very interested in the best song possible. So like definitely very critical when it comes to recording. But then like this stuff is like good in its own way. You
Yeah.
know, it's
it
like not
forces us to
it's
like
not
chill the
perfect.
fuck out.
Right.
Sometimes,
it's not
you
perfect,
know?
but like it's like raw and like definitely have a vibe. Like we have some demos of like the songs that we've put out that like I'm like, damn, the demo might be better. It's got like the original intent,
hardline.
like
Right.
the original feel, like that's.
Yeah.
But it sounds like shit. But it's like got this quality to it that
Yeah.
you just couldn't replicate. Like even today, like when we were jamming, like on the first song, we just get like more predictable as
Right.
you go on. So like I think like the first song, like our best was like 2/3 of the way through, and then we kind of regressed. But like
Right.
not in the sense that we didn't know the song as well, but that like it wasn't as vibing out.
authentic,
Authentic,
It gets
yeah.
a little stale.
Yeah.
That-
Right, yeah.
That was the big thing with jazz guys. They do it like first or second take. Otherwise, like you
Dude,
know,
I know.
Otherwise, you fucking
move
come
on.
back
I know.
tomorrow, man. Yeah,
Kinda
right.
cemented in
It's
there.
that's
really
kinda what we
hard.
figured
It's
out,
really
too.
hard to do.
Especially
You
if you're
can
doing a long solo like that. Like that.
Yeah.
It's tough to be
there's
like,
a-
I just put my whole soul out there
Yeah.
5 times in a row.
There's a
Yeah, he
video
come back,
of Thelonious Monk freaking out that they didn't record the first take. He's like, I told you to record it.
Dude,
the first
that's
take
what
is
I'm
useless now. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, every
That's so
time.
funny.
That sounds
we
awesome.
take
Yo.
a lot of first takes and I'm just like, oh, I'll just run it. It's like, and that's
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
some of the
usually
best
really
stuff.
good.
I mean,
Energy is awesome.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
stories of that in the
Right.
world of like the
Yeah.
first take.
There's a
was
reason
like
why.
Great Gig in the Sky or whatever.
Dude, yeah,
There's
second
kind of
take,
no
second
expectations
take.
for
Yeah.
this time around either, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That
my
fucking song.
dad.
You don't know what it's
and
gonna sound
fuck,
like.
if we fuck it up, we can run it back. So you
Yeah.
have that safety net. So you just kind of
Yeah.
go for
My
it.
dad told me that's like the Hotel California, the guitar solo was like that was on the first take. That was like
Yeah.
Really?
And then like they actually like wanted him to do it again, and he's like okay. So then they like left. They said like keep working on it and stuff. And,
Yeah.
And then he like just didn't record another one. And then
He's
they
like,
played
yeah, it's
the
like,
same
yeah.
one.
Wait, so was that solo not a written out solo? It was just like improvised.
No, it was. I suppose it was. I think it was improvised.
Sounds
like,
Damn.
Yeah,
It
like,
sounds-
It sounds like fucking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. it
I
was
don't
like-
really. I mean, I'm not like a super big like
Joe Walsh.
Eagles
Yeah.
fan, but like that solo
Well,
is like iconic. Like,
Dude,
you
the
could
Eagles
sing
are
the whole
fucking
thing.
awesome.
Well, it could be a thing.
Those are amazing. Yeah.
I'm not shitting on the Eagles, but I don't have that core
Ari's
like.
hold
I
up,
recently
hold
discovered
up.
that I like the Eagles.
Like
yeah.
that, maybe more that song is not my favorite. Like
Which song? Oh, it's a California.
Hotel-
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
literally one of the best songs ever written, but you've heard it 8 million times.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why it
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
But it's so.
I like
It's
that-
literally.
I feel that
It's a
way. Well,
perfect
like when you
song.
hear it a million times and
they're
you're
more
like
country
start to
stuff.
get irritated.
They're more country.
You think it just sucks?
No.
They're like country stuff, is little like folky.
Dude, Take It
with their
Easy, that song's
Yeah, take it easy.
amazing.
One of these
Yeah.
nights. That song.
Yeah.
One of these nights.
But
so
their
sick,
harmonies are
dude.
amazing.
One of these nights.
I dislike
One of
the
these
shit on the
crazy
Eagles
ones.
because they're awesome, but yeah, that song I was like
Yeah.
not one of my favorites, but that guitar solo that's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
If that was.
I was a
album
heavy
too,
influence
yeah.
from one of these nights for
That's like
for
one of the-
Hardline.
Yeah,
They have one of the
definitely.
top 10
Really.
selling albums of all time.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Number one, their best of
Is it-
album,
is
isn't
it-
it?
is it
Hasn't
number
it
one?
like every year or for a long time? Just
But we're thinking about putting out a best of record.
not every year, but I mean,
Earlier cassettes.
Oh,
Yeah.
we've only done one record so far.
you gotta
so-
keep custom
DJ
cassette tape
Milk.
together.
What?
Hits all
Just
over
an
the place.
hour of DJ Milk or whatever.
DJ Milk.
Just Milk, yeah, that song, yeah. For context, I made a.
I was listening to your guys.
Nope.
I was listening to your guys'
We
album
don't even talk
today.
about
I listened to the Laughing Hearts album today, trying to get some thoughts to bring into this conversation. And I love. I've told you guys a bunch. I love how you guys have such a different vocal style. And your songwriting is very different, but it works so nicely together. I really like Ari. You
Thanks,
kind of
man.
got a darker, kind of more moody kind of voice, and Tyler, you're kind of more like aggressive and like got more of like a chaotic energy. Well, Ari's like just look at him right now. You can see it. You can see it. But
I'm laying on my back for doing it.
but it's cool how it works together in the album, and I love it live because it's like you could do one song and then it's like, all right, we got to break. And it's cool how the
We
dynamic.
can really. The thing is, we don't feel like pigeonholed to anything because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like some
exactly.
songs like this is a heavy Ari influence, other songs heavy Tyler influence, other songs
Yeah.
really fucking.
Yeah, we have a couple like complete collaborations, and then
Yeah.
a few that are just independent completely.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I was listening and I was like the couple ones that I thought of that were kind of seemed like maybe influences. I think I told you like the Strokes before. I could kind of hear a little Strokes.
Yeah, certainly.
Ari's.
I heard
your-
Strokes right away.
Strokes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think with something like Harder as well. Like
Yeah.
that song makes me
Yeah.
think of maybe.
Especially the more mellow stuff, Mac DeMarco a little bit. I've been hearing recently.
Nice.
Like the song today.
Especially with Ari's vocals.
That's
Yeah.
the song today as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely
Yeah.
fucking love
Yeah.
Mac.
Of
course.
Yeah.
And do you guys know Post Animal and all their Chicago bands?
Yeah,
I was kind
definitely.
of hearing that a little bit.
Somewhat.
The
Yeah,
Laughing
they're
Heart
heavy,
song
yeah.
like kind of reminded me of them a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's jumpy around. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of like got that garage rock vibe, but you guys can blend in mellower elements. And even one of your songs, I just saw you guys at Martyrs a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The one song you kind of get that like walking bass line, that kind of jazzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Jazz tune,
that's a really old
Yeah.
song for
Yeah.
us. We used to do that with a
Ray
previous
Wild.
band, Ray Wild.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it's the only
Rest in
song
peace.
we
Rest in peace,
Rest
yo.
in peace.
It's
It's a song that it's the
Yo,
only song we
OG
still
Squadron,
fuck around
yeah.
with from that because That song came about. Already had this bass line. He'd bring it all the time.
Never forget. I was sitting like in my dorm room, like freshman year of college. That's how long ago. I just like start playing that, like sitting on the guitar. There's like 6 people in there. I'm like, yo, everybody be quiet. Like listen to this shit.
Yeah,
like,
that was when you
like,
bought the
hey,
amp. That was
like,
when
hey,
you got
Tyler,
the
listen
amp,
to this
dude.
shit. And then everyone's like, yeah, like didn't give a fuck. But then I just kept pestering everybody to play it for like maybe
riff.
a year before we started playing it.
Yeah, your bass
and now
line
we've
for
been
that song,
playing
you
it.
kept pushing it, and
Yeah,
I was like,
I just
I don't
kept
know, I
pushing
can't
it
find
in
a part
every
for
sense.
it. And
Like,
I had
I
this
just-
riff that I was
yeah.
pushing,
Yeah.
and then we played them together. I just changed the key, and I was like, shit, yeah, they fit
Yeah,
right on
cool.
top of
Yeah.
each other. It's beautiful,
Hell
and
yeah.
we that came together, but we were both pushing some shit that
Yeah, no, it's just,
wasn't
it's just a
necessarily
good jam.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
good jam.
Yeah, and you guys.
And I didn't used to sing the original version. Jack
Oh, really?
used to
Yeah,
sing.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we met originally. We did a party house show at Billy's.
Infamously.
You're all welcome.
At Billy's house.
That's why I do it.
But that was one
I
of
do
the
it for
best-
the chance.
That was one of
You
the
guys
best.
showed us a 3-piece.
Yeah, we did a
I'm very
3-piece. We had no
weak-minded.
bassist, so Foz played
Did you?
bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
also-
I played bass a little bit too.
I do
actually.
want to say
around.
it is well documented that the Lunar Ticks have it out for Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They lose a member each time. They've never been full. They went from 3 down to 2.
This time
Yeah.
it's just gonna be me on drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
solo.
But it's still gonna be
Fucking Lunar Ticks.
Hey, but I'll be there. So
I was gonna say we're still gonna be opening for you guys. Like we're gonna open for you guys, and you're gonna be like, all right, well,
Well, we opened last time.
did you?
At Cafe.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
did,
it was
you did.
because you guys were
Because-
two. Well, next time when it's one person,
Yeah.
we'll swap. We'll be like, all right, we'll open up. And
It was only 2 of you last time?
Yeah, but I
just the
played,
two of
I
them.
played 2 songs with them.
that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I played 2 songs with them.
Probably
also.
Made it
Hold on,
happen.
let me
Yeah.
rip this
Damn.
first.
Yeah, it was fun.
We played Psycho Killer. I played
we-
Psycho Killer with
yeah.
them the first time we
Oh,
met.
damn.
so
Yeah, I remember
Paige
that.
Mine- Paige
But that
Mine
was
said
like
it too.
I remember on
And
the
Michael.
entire way, like that Ryan and I were driving, and we were just listening to like power duos.
Yes.
Version of power
What are we
duos
gonna do?
all over? Yeah, well, because we were trying to figure out how we were gonna play these songs.
All right, write down as much as you can.
Yeah,
We gotta learn
and
how to
helped
do
a
it.
lot. Like
And-
White Stripes.
Play loud.
Dude, White Stripes are the shit.
White
So-
Stripes is the power.
So we were
dude.
listening to
Oh
we were
my
listening to
God.
power duos the whole way down, but we opened with Dancing Queen.
Well, you did.
Well, I did. And
awesome.
people fucking loved it. Joel is like
'Cause people
pushing Dancing
fucking
Queen
love
so
that
hard.
song.
It's a great song. I think it's
It is a
It's
great
also
I think-
something you don't expect to hear covered
exactly
in a rock show.
exactly.
Yeah. I will say too though, like when we did the trio, I had no idea that Pageman was gonna sit in on saxophone.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea when we first started. So we're just playing, and we get into the middle of like a part where like a solo section would happen, and he just comes around the corner with a sax, and it was like what just happened?
It was like I was waiting in the wings,
dude,
man.
Yeah, he just got like dropped from the sky.
The funniest
It
part
was.
of that too is I've been pestering him all week when we were setting it up to bring his saxophone. I was like, they want you to sit in, like you know.
Yeah.
So he shows up without his fucking saxophone. I
Naturally.
literally stop him at the door. He's about to grab a beer. I'm like, the beer can wait. You live a block away at the Lisa Mona house. I was like, run back, grab it, and then you can hang out.
Yeah.
He literally had to run back.
So,
He's like,
so for
"Ah,
people
fuck
for
it."
people that don't know what we're talking about, Laughing Hearts were in a band at Columbia, Missouri. Lunar Ticks went down to play there, and we played at Billy's back porch, and people are sitting on the roof of the garage. It's like Saturday afternoon. It's
Tree-
80
trees
degrees.
are
fucking beautiful out too. Yeah, I remember.
It was
it
the
was
amazing.
It was
perfect day.
And the
Perfect day for a
all
show.
the neighbors.
Perfect college party. Yeah.
It's
House
actually the
party,
first show that I did.
We said
Fell in love with a girl that White Stripes tuned.
Oh,
I did
yeah,
that
yeah.
as
Yeah.
a vocalist.
Tyler
Which,
Ever sang, yeah.
like our singer at the time fucked off for a sec. I
Yeah.
did that song. And I'd been drinking so much, and that song requires quite a bit of energy. And I remember like second or third verse there, I was like, I think I'm going to throw up. Like, while singing, I'm like, I need to take a breath, you know. And you gotta kind of like.
Yeah,
That
no,
song doesn't leave a lot of room for breathing. You know,
No.
it just is vocal.
That was our
vocal,
last
vocal,
show
vocal.
ever.
And I was like,
Wait, was your singer there?
yeah, that's the last
That
show
was
we
our last
played
show
as
for a
that
while.
band.
Can you guys talk about that, or do you want to talk about that?
Not
really.
particularly, but
That
like
was our last show
a little
with Ray
bit.
Wild.
Basically, we used to play in a 4-piece called Ray Wild,
Yeah.
and it just kind of fell apart because of
Well,
I mean, we don't have
artistic
moved,
differences.
number one.
yeah.
Like,
One is we moved,
and then like I moved back.
Just
and I,
you
like,
two.
What?
Move.
and Tom.
No,
and
Tom moved too.
So Tom
The
was
three of us
in
moved.
Ray Wild as
And Jack
well.
was still there, and like I started a job, and we just like stopped playing with Jack. Pretty
And
much.
basically, what happened is Ari and I went home for 2 or 3 weeks from college, and we got together,
been
and my
writing
parents were out of
songs.
town. We were just hanging out at my parents' house. We had this little recording device, and we were like, all right, we got a couple of tunes. Let's just make a 2-man demo.
Yeah.
Ari hopped on the drum kit, which is clear from the recordings.
Yeah.
But they're sweet. Like, but it's just like, hey,
They're awesome.
no, because Ari was just
No,
like
actually,
he
that
was
was
just
right when I
starting
started
drumming
playing
right
drums,
then, and
yeah.
so like he started
is like 2
drumming
years
to
ago.
these songs I was doing, and like one of them was "Laughing Heart" was basically Ari
Yeah.
practicing drums while I practiced a little lick I wrote, and then I came up with the word, it came a song,
Cool.
and we did Wabash, we did "Laughing Heart," and we did "Harder," and we made this tape, and we were gonna put it out, and
No,
we,
like we were just, and then we were just like fucking
we
stoked.
were gonna do something with
This
it.
is like This is like when we were like still in Ray Wild. We did
Okay,
this.
yeah.
Like this is like March, like during
Yeah,
like
yeah,
spring
yeah.
break, and we were like, damn, I really like this. Like we don't, we could kind of do whatever we want.
Like if you
know?
got 2 people,
And
who
then
can
we
make
just
this,
kept
like,
playing shows,
nothing
and
can
then we played
really,
with you guys in May, and then I moved like 2 weeks after that, started a job.
Well, because
Tyler moved.
that's the thing. So your first show as the Laughing Hearts, that was when you guys were out of town, right? So I think that was like Small Foreign Faction.
That was
Yeah,
with
that's
that's
one of our
fucking
first
right,
shows.
dude.
Yeah.
At Gallery Cabaret.
Yeah,
That's one
Yeah,
of our
because
first shows.
we were
Because I remember
decided.
you guys were like trying to figure out what your band name was because you didn't. And you like I was like, all right, you guys, you gotta
Holy
give me
shit,
something.
really?
'cause
Yeah,
gotta-
we were still trying to.
Yeah, because I had to like put something
together.
on like a flyer or whatever to put out there. And you're
Oh
like,
my God.
"All right, just Laughing Hearts. Like
Yeah,
it
That
seemed
was
like
our
you guys weren't even
that was
sold
no.
on it.
We
Oh,
had
that's
songs.
awesome.
Yeah.
We had songs, but
That's
we
such a good
didn't.
band.
Because we had the song "The Laughing Heart" first, and
Yeah.
Art
Oh,
and I
yeah,
were
because-
liking
okay,
that,
so,
and
like,
we were like, we could be the Laughing Hearts or the Laughing Heart Band, or like
Yeah, we
shit like
recorded
that.
this music. We recorded like basically like when we started the band, we recorded the record at Treehouse Records, and we hadn't played a show at all. Like we just like recorded like 6 songs in like probably 12 hours total, just live, and then we ended up doing the overdubs at Palatown. But we took like 6 months because I mixed it, and then we just like did overdubs, and we didn't put it out until that was like July, and then we played like 1 show or 2 shows maybe from July to January while we were working on that shit. And then we basically just started for real like January last year.
Yeah.
What's funny, you
we so-
asking us to play that show was like we had been discussing.
Which
we were like-
show?
That was actually that
It was the
fucking
catalyst you needed.
Tonic Room, wasn't that where we played?
Oh
You
yeah,
it was
Tonic
fucking
Room.
Alabaster and
Yeah,
shit,
with
right? And
Alabaster.
Oh, yeah.
That was our first show. Like
And
our first
yeah,
real show
you
ever.
asked us to
As
play that
Laughing
show,
Hearts.
and Ari and I had been
We
like,
haven't-
we're
yeah.
gonna not play shows for a while. We're just gonna write and keep writing and keep putting
Right after we
material
put out
out,
the
like no
record, yeah.
gigs. And then you asked us to play a gig, and we're like, we could do 1 gig. And we did that
have not
and then
stopped
we were like,
playing.
we have
That's
not
always
stopped
how it
playing
goes.
every week
we have
since that
seriously
gig. And we're
not
just
stopped
like,
playing more than like
That's
3 weeks
awesome.
since that.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
That's
It's
a
been
good
like
sign.
Yeah, that was a great time, man. That was
That night we
quite
booked
the
like
catalyst
3
for
shows
us,
like
yeah.
right after.
Uh-huh.
All the guys
And we
were
just
so
kept
hyped.
playing.
Why did I book you on a Tonic Room show? I don't know.
You hit us up like somebody. I don't know.
It was
like
through
band,
it was
like-
through Baboon Heart. That's what it was.
Oh,
like that's
yeah.
that was the
We
first.
were just we literally were like
I don't, yeah.
practicing
That's
the right
awesome.
before.
That's
Yeah,
great that you guys got that and that worked out.
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
know, right? How
We
fucking
ended up
crazy.
meeting like a bunch of people at that gig, and
Yeah.
we've just been jamming. Since.
Yeah,
Literally
that's so
been
cool.
playing straight up. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And speaking on the album thing, I was wondering, so you're guys from the area originally?
Yeah, our
Yeah,
our-
Ash has
our-
that Chicago line of like, I want to wake up in
yeah.
Chicago.
And you know the
Yeah,
idea
tell
there
them
is
about it,
obviously
yeah.
like I'm gonna close my eyes and Chicago ain't too far from home for me, right?
Yeah.
And the idea is like I didn't grow up in Chicago, right? It's
Right.
not too far from where I grew up, so that's kind of the lyric is very.
Yeah, but also like
Kind of,
the,
but like it was, yeah. I wrote it coming home from Columbia.
Como?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
on the bus there from that station. That station is called
tell me,
Wabash
is
Station.
it
there.
the Greyhound that you took? there?
Yeah, I took the Greyhound from there, and you know the Greyhound
Thank
sucks.
you.
You have
Billy
like
has good Greyhound stories.
you have like
I've
a
done that so
six-
many times.
We'll
have
save, we'll save the Billy Graham stories. for-
Yeah, you Billy's Greyhound
Billy
stories
puts
are
on
his
a
own
bus, for sure.
podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got a whole podcast.
We'll do a Billy day one time.
Yeah, and you know, with the Greyhound, you have to get stoned before, get on the Greyhound, ride 6 hours, get
They
stoned
make you
again,
ride
and
it.
then hope that
Yeah,
lasts
I know.
another
You
6
must
Get
hours.
stoned at the
Time to
McDonald's
ride
and the
the
gas station
Yeah,
right in
and then
between. Take
hope
your
that'll
shit.
last another 6.
It's like 7.
It's brutal, and so on that bus ride, I came up with that chorus and was writing that because I obviously had a lot of time on my hands,
Yeah.
and I wrote that chorus, and from there put some chords to that, which
Yeah.
I don't do often. I typically write music,
Oh, yeah.
lyrics, and then for that one though, I
Sometimes
had that
it's-
chorus right there, and I was like,
Yeah,
all
and
right,
then
now,
Tyler, I think Tyler was like playing it like we were like trying to record demos because Tyler's parents
were just out of town for a straight week, and we just lived
We were
in their fucking house.
Yeah.
We just like, but it was perfect. It was
Aren't they
perfect.
really cool?
No, it was great. It was great. We were just like, holy shit, like we can just record every day.
Every day.
No, we
So
just
for a week,
no, we
for
were
a week
in
straight,
Tyler's
Ari
parents'
would
house,
just
we
come
sat-
over
I just
every
slept there
morning.
pretty
He would
much,
sleep
too.
there every night. He'd be over every morning. We would just start we'd have
had
some
their whole,
coffee,
house.
some whiskey, some weed, and we would just start jamming, writing, recording. We finished 3
That's
songs in like a week. It's
Ryan,
not
that's like you at your
great
grandma's
timing,
place.
but
Dude, we did the same thing this year too. Actually,
yeah, it didn't go as well.
It didn't go as well.
I think
but
our
we
standards
actually,
also increased.
No, 2 songs made it from that.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we did the same thing this year.
I wanted
yeah.
to say that's so funny that you said that you were writing that chorus on the bus because it's to me it sounds like you wrote it on the bus.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't know.
The idea
I
to
don't
me
know.
is road tripping back. You're like half asleep, hungover in the car, sun's
Yeah.
going out, whatever. And you're just kind of thinking about getting home.
Yeah, and that song.
And no matter where
Yeah.
you go, it's always close to you. You know, it's,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
not too far from.
Before you
Exactly, it's
before
never
you
quite
even
too far.
explained it, like that was what I was picturing. I was like,
That's great.
you're on the bus and like you're like after some shit went down or something, and you're like, man, I just gotta get fucking home. And
Yeah.
right now, like
And
that's
fun enough, like each of the verses, kind of like that song didn't quite come to me as like fucking. You know, some songs you hear the chorus or whatever part of it, you sit down, you write the whole fucking thing in like an hour.
right.
And some of them take months. You write a
Yeah.
verse, you forget about it. You write that song was one where like each verse I remember from specific. Like I remember when I wrote each verse,
Right.
and each one is a different thing to me because
That's
they
it.
didn't happen at the same time.
Yeah, wow.
They're not even necessarily interwoven, you know.
Wow,
but
yeah.
in the vibe, you know,
Yeah.
and in the kind of general theme they are. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Right,
like,
right. But
In terms
it's,
of my life, like they're just happening. You know,
Good point.
things just kind of happen, and
that's
you're
really
like, oh.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of that's kind of a hard thing for me writing sometimes of like, you know, all these things are related. You're trying to relate different ideas in this context of the song. So like when you are spacing them out between different amounts of time, like everything changes about.
So that's why,
you
like,
know,
I kind of feel like I keep my notebooks, you know, just thoughts in every one, and I can
Yeah.
pull through them and kind of take parts from anywhere, any point in time. And the way you can justify sort of these aren't related, right? In theme is I'm just like, well, they're related in the sense that like I wrote them, and I'm really only thinking about like a couple topics
Right.
most of the time, you
Right.
know. So like, you can kind of justify that and say
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I wrote.
yeah.
You know, they're related.
Cool. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
so I just kind of wanted to ask you guys about the sort of music scene in Columbia in general, because
Sure.
I didn't really get to know much about that. Like the fact that you guys had like a house that had like a jam environment
So-
like that is
Yeah,
crazy.
dude,
Like,
it was
and
awesome.
Mangosteen, like I don't know how long
Yeah.
they've been playing or.
Mangosteen had been playing like two years probably.
Yeah, but Spencer
We've
from
known Spencer
Mangosteen,
forever.
like we have known him since we got to college.
Sure.
We've just known him for a really long time.
Yeah.
Always been jamming together. Always been kind of working on projects together and stuff. And then he really was like running the Lisa Mona thing, right? He put that whole thing
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
And it's,
Explain Lisa Mona.
Lisa Mona
idea.
was just like, so they had a monthly jam, and it just kind of started off like us and Mangosteen just kind of, you know, having a really good time.
a ball of a time.
Really
It was
good
a house
time.
or a venue?
It was a house.
A really good time. Oh yeah, Lisa Mona's their house. And we were just like jamming and like just improvising and like had a full setup in the living
Basically
room.
just our bands
And
collaborating,
then
you know?
we were like, I think definitely Spencer's spearheading this whole thing. Just like yeah, we want to like, and they're all Mangosteen was in jazz band, so like they had like a lot of music school connections.
That's
So
how
it
I
started
met
off,
them, and I met
and
Tom
Tyler
that
and Tom were in jazz band. Like I was not.
Yeah.
But.
Tom and I played together in jazz bands throughout college, and like we were always in the kind of like straggler jazz band, you know, like they'd put together like, all right, these
Kind of like more rock and roll style.
yeah, more like, you know, like,
Oh,
all right, these
really?
guys kind of loosely understand the concept of jazz, you know, and like,
Wait, so like, would you
like
guys
I
do,
saw
like-
Tyler play a seventh chord one time, and it was like not bad.
Would you guys do like kind of like bluesy rock stuff then, or?
Yeah, we'd focus on like the bluesier stuff.
Was it in the
We'd
combo?
try some jazz. Yeah, it was like a combo, right? And they would always change us up, but Tom and I were always together because you know it just kind of worked out.
Yeah,
And,
but anyways, they all like
yeah, we met them.
So they all
through
have
that.
school like music school ties. So eventually, like we want to invite more musicians, like not just guitar, bass, like whatever, like all types of instruments. So people were just like
they had one night, and it's like literally in their living room, and they just invited a bunch of people. Probably like 6 or 7 people showed up, like a few, maybe like 1 or 2 drummers, and like a couple brass instruments, and it was really cool. But like nothing, and then we just kept doing it like once a month, like every month we meet up, and it just kept growing and growing. Like we did it for like, it took about a year. It took about a year before it really took off.
Yeah.
It's like, 'cause like the first year it was like, you know, we'd have a bunch of people, like a good amount of people, like 3 or 4 bands worth of people, and then basically like everybody comes and you sign up. Like now it developed into a sign-up sheet, and just like guitar, bass, whatever, and then you had an MC, which was Spencer at first, who would just call out 4 people, and then they just go up and jam, and it was like 15 minutes or 2 songs, or you know, it was pretty loose for a long time.
Yeah.
And for a long time, it was literally just like Ray Wild and Mangosteen, and we just play forever, and then they'd have people come up.
You know, 1 or 2 people would show up and like hop in, but for the most
Like
part,
I mean,
it was,
like set like 10,
Yeah,
maybe like
right.
9 or 10 in a row, and eventually like they started teaming up with this like poetry club called One Mic, like this girl Takia, and they just brought a bunch of people, and then it started becoming like a party vibe, and like now we had the full backing band, right, with like 2 keyboards, drums, guitar, bass, like multiple guitars, just a bunch of mics.
Well, that was one of the coolest parts, was that it was
Yeah.
a jam, but it was also
So-
when we did it, there was just a ton of
So-
people there just to watch.
Dude, yes, yeah, and
They
so
were just taking all of it.
eventually, like Takia, she had like she was emceeing the whole thing, and she had like just people coming
Like
up,
poets and
like
stuff.
poets and
Yeah.
stuff.
And were they in like the jam?
Yeah, they were.
So
they were
would-
like
you'd be the
freestyling, and we
backing
would be
band?
the backing band, and
That's
they just said like
awesome.
That's
like
really
a
nice.
vibe. It was like
Yeah, they'd kind of
crazy. And by this
vibe-wise,
time,
right? They'd say, "Oh, this poem's kinda
mind you, like when we
yeah.
started, like it was like this lights, like just like in the living room, like just like bright lights, people chilling.
I know
And
that
then
was
by the
crazy.
time-
it was just there's like
But no,
surgical light.
by the time-
by
the time-
getting down anyways.
That one was crazy, but by the
It's
time
crazy.
we did it, like with Mangosteen and Spencer, it was like
They
crazy.
really
like
put
they
it
had
together.
decked
They've
out
been
the
doing it
whole
for a
the
while.
whole
They
place.
had
Like
the system
and
down.
it got to the point where like there were so many people that we didn't even play.
Yeah, I'd just show up and get.
We would show up and just party.
Seriously, I'd just show up and just drink a
I
lot
would do
and
one
just
jam
watch
because,
you guys.
dude, no,
Yeah.
it was crazy
Yeah.
because it got to the point where like I didn't recognize anybody like jam to jam. Like there was a
great,
few,
like,
there were a few good
that's what it should
musicians,
be.
you know, but it got to the point where you know. Like you wait, and if you don't have a good jam, then you're not jamming forever, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was just such a phenomenon. Like the school wrote about it in the newspaper and shit.
yeah.
Like right before we were graduating, yeah, it was awesome. It was like definitely the coolest like group thing because it just grew from like this like natural thing, and it was like such a good vibe. And then the one we did with you guys
Yeah.
was like we went the people who like kind of who went to the jams and saw it. They're like, we're gonna live in this house. pretty
Yeah,
much.
Burzin OC,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and they're like music guys too. And then I don't think they did the jam as much, but that was like we had all the original like creators in town, plus you guys, plus the band Loose Loose, which
Yeah.
they're fucking awesome too. And it was just like the stars aligned, and we just had this like insane
best
super
energy there. It was
jam.
the best jam I've ever been a part of.
Everybody,
Easily.
I've been to a couple
Easily.
Easily.
I played with you guys too. It was like you, me, us three, Zach Zito, and
Matt was definitely on there.
who else?
Yeah.
Matthew was playing keys.
Oh no, it was Michael.
yeah,
And
Michael.
Michael. Yeah, it was us three, Zach Zito, and Michael.
It was like
Frankie
was
Fingers.
The
insane.
combination
Frankie-
of like,
Frankie Fingertips.
it was a huge party. The crowd was going crazy. The musicians were amazing, and it wasn't just people soloing, which is what most jams
Right.
turn into. Just
No, it was like
soloing.
a good ass jam.
Everyone's listening and
crazy.
trying to do weird shit and going with it.
I don't think I've ever experienced that.
It was
No,
so
it was
great.
unbelievable.
It was like
Yeah.
take the best house party and then take like the most like
people,
exploratory
like-
jamming and combine them together.
Well,
Like
That's what
it's
we're
like
like.
it's like this room. If we were just set up here and people were like
Yeah.
smoking blunts, like just like
Yeah.
watching
Oh,
you,
they were
far
passing
away.
on stage a lot.
Putting it up to people's mouths, like everybody was just barricading this tiny corner on top.
Yeah.
Billy was jamming at one point. I think you were playing drums and shit.
I think I got on
No, Billy's playing.
Yeah,
I
bongos,
swear to
yeah,
God, I was
sure.
playing with Billy because I remember getting to the party
I can't-
and we played a show. I remember getting to the party. I'm like, holy shit, this is unbelievable. I have to get in. And I went and got my bass. So we came straight from Cafe Berlin, and I was like, I'm gonna stand here until somebody gets off because I'm not gonna miss this shit.
I also want to
Like-
say, back to the point of the Squancheroos, so it was first at our house with
Yeah.
Ray Wild and the Ticks, and then it was Laughing Hearts, Mango Scene, and Lunar Ticks, Carter and Ryan. We lost another member.
Yeah.
But then it's a block away from where the Lisa Mona house was.
Yeah.
Also though, Mango Scene's last show. So the two
Yeah,
shows in
right,
Columbia
that's
has,
right.
has also killed
Mango Scene's last show. Mango Scene's last show ever.
So
Local
we lose
legends
a
in
member.
Columbia.
Yeah,
we have to kill bands.
exactly.
Specifically Columbia
Columbus is
local
bad
bands.
luck.
We're coming for you, every band.
Yeah, are you guys sure you want to play with us?
Dude, certainly bring it
We
on.
are all about the bad luck.
It's just going to be an actual
Adversity is where the special should happen.
thrive.
No, that's when Lunar Ticks breaks up.
Yeah, so the thing is, Tyler and I stick through everything.
There's going to be one person.
That's why.
I've
Yeah,
had
I'm-
enough of this.
Oh.
I was thinking of, we kind of started, I guess, in kind of similar circumstances, that not every band kind of forms in a college town in that atmosphere and in that environment, and then grows from playing DIY kind of shows, like house shows and stuff. And I was wondering how that like influenced your guys' sound, or like how you approach the music, or like what about playing in a college town? How do you think that made you guys kind of develop your style and sound?
I mean, it definitely, like, I don't know, it definitely made us appreciate playing live. Like, we always been into that, but it definitely was, like, awesome to have a responsive crowd to know what that feels like.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like that, it's like the
Right
hunger,
away.
the hunger of that
Right
is
away,
like,
yeah.
Right,
that keeps you going for
It's
sure.
just so immediate.
Like, we played some, like, just insane, like,
Wow, that's
like,
really interesting. Good.
yeah, like I just remember like one of the first house shows we ever played, like just people everywhere, and it's just like we love the chaos of
Right.
that, and like if just trying to replicate that all the time is definitely
every day.
I do.
Like, I
Even though
want
like
that
some of
all
our
the
shit's
time.
softer, like I always wish it was like chaotic for the most part. Like,
Right.
but then it pulls back. But then
It's
like
nice to do
it's
both.
like right like kind of on the edge. Like
Yeah,
we always just
totally.
like try to bring that vibe.
Even though
Like-
upbeat, pretty stuff can
Yeah,
still
and
kind of
our
be
other
that.
band,
bring
but
that kind
the
of
Ray Wild was
beef.
all beef. Like we didn't have
Oh,
slow
yeah.
songs. Like we were just all like hard, you know.
Right.
Like that was just like what we were into at the time.
But that's
Those are
interesting.
a
You
lot
said
heavier.
A lot heavier.
Certainly.
Yeah, it was like
it's interesting. you
Solos
say
every
that.
song.
which definitely fits the house party vibe more so than our band now.
Sure.
Although we could do it like easily, but now like the last like batch of songs, like is
You'd have to sculpt
The
your
mellow,
cellos a
or
little
you
bit.
call
Yeah,
them
you
the
gotta
slow-
sneak 'em in there so
Slow
people don't
guys.
fall
Slow
asleep.
guys.
we could definitely
guys.
do a bit like a beef set.
Yeah.
Beef set though.
But I wonder.
Oh, we
that's
got it
funny
though.
they say about like having that reaction right away with people and being crowded and packed and energy. Like I could see it. That, when you first start, like when we came from Macomb to Chicago. I mean, you're playing shows where there are less than 5 people in the venue or something, and no
Oh
one's.
my god.
No
Well,
one's
that's
giving a
something
fuck.
that we
we
Art and
used
have
to-
been playing together since we were in high school.
Right.
And
Like
in high
really
school,
like 16.
yeah, since you're 16, and you play for one person,
Right.
2 people, like your high school girlfriends, like
Right.
that's it. And
We've had
we used
the
to call,
girlfriend
like,
shows where it's
we
like
call them girlfriend
2
shows.
girls,
Where you're like,
the
yeah, you're in
bartender,
high school, and it's like
sound guy.
'cause you're underage
maybe not even
too.
a sound guy.
Like, right.
Maybe not a sound guy. Maybe they just plug in, or
you're-
maybe we're just sitting there and we're playing.
You're underage, now your friends can go see you play at the fucking bar. You get the big X's in your hands. You're like, okay, sold no tickets, whatever. And like, and that's something we've actually carried with us to this band
Yeah.
in the sense that like our motto is just that we will always play for 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. Like we just
Yeah.
want to play, man.
Right.
I like
Yeah,
that crowd
definitely.
response to me. 1 person, 2 people. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I eat that shit up.
If they're in, you can find the one person and kind of lock into them. And
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
we
and we've
we
always
play
felt
stuff
that
all
way.
the time, like even when we were doing like stuff at Moe's and like no one come in. But then one guy, no, shut up.
I know.
Like then one,
Most
no,
has
no.
carpet. Can I just say that?
on the record.
On the record,
Wait,
Most
this
has
is-
carpet.
Yes.
Hashtag carpet. We hashtag stuff on this show, by the way. You guys have all not been on it, except for
Hashtag
the laughing
the laughing hearts of carpet. Anyways, but like if
Carpet
one,
match your Drake.
all right, if no, come on. I'm an artist.
I'm an artist.
Anyways, yeah, like if one guy comes in and is just like, wow, you guys are like really, really good. Like that was awesome. That's awesome. Like then we had a good time. Like, and it's just like all practice. Like every time we play a show, we're just like, yeah, it was another like time.
Right.
It was
We
like,
don't have
it's
a practice
great.
space right now, so for
Yeah.
us, like really, anytime we can have the
So
opportunity
you never
to play.
rehearse?
Well, not
yeah,
really,
we do.
no.
Not with Tom that much though.
Yeah, Ari and I play together all the time because
Right.
we live together, so we're
So
always
we're, like,
fucking
we're
around
working on the
playing
songs all the
and
time.
Songs are getting worked out, but like
Yeah,
in
'cause
terms
wow.
of getting a live full
Yeah,
practice,
that's why we've been
fucking
doing
never.
like
That's
acoustic
crazy.
stuff lately a lot too, like
or that
shithole.
shit kit in
and,
our
like,
room, or like
yeah,
that,
so-
that one in our kitchen.
Or like we've been doing stripped down like
Stripped
so
down
far
sets.
sets, and it's been going pretty well.
Yeah.
We've been really enjoying that, like stripping
Yeah.
stripping it down and forcing ourselves to control ourselves.
Good for the
is
slow guys,
Really
too.
good. Good for
Good
the
for
slow
the slow
guys.
guys.
Really good for the slow guys. Which like the one we did today.
Yeah.
That's one we've been workshopping.
We haven't
lately
done that
and, like,
so far yet.
No, we haven't. We haven't because it's not.
I don't
like
know if
a
I
heavy
could play
hitter
a
yet.
song that I didn't have a name for. I would feel too.
We
anxious.
never.
Naked.
One thing we don't really talk about.
I don't
song
like
titles.
talking.
We don't talk.
I don't like
during our
talking
sets
during
much.
set.
It makes me anxious.
You don't need to
and
talk.
I
but
have nothing to say.
I feel like I would have to say like, what is it?
No, I'm just like
Like,
I look
is
back
that-
at Tom. We go, yeah, the song. Yeah, it's
No, I'm more just like, yeah, this is a song.
yeah. So casual.
What else do you need?
Right.
You like probably don't care.
Or you know what, you just
No,
It's
no.
not about that.
music speak.
Here's my
about that.
philosophy.
Well, like,
you know,
exactly. It's
For
let
me,
the music speak
for
for
me
silence.
personally- No, I don't even need. I'm not even saying to tell people what song it is. To me, I don't know if
have
I
to
can
identify.
know what
I have to
is it.
identify it. Like like the one show that we did in Columbia. That one song is just drop D.
Drop
thing.
D.
It's in
Right,
drop D.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
just,
I-
it's drop D tune.
Yeah.
I
Which
like-
But
also
like
would-
at least it has a name.
We also need to label it in our voice memo so we can find it again.
This is
Right.
literally, we
Yeah.
literally, if I was
Because
trying to convey
the
this song
song's
to
not
Tom, I
done.
would say that slow guy.
That slow
and
guy.
he would
We
know
said
exactly
there's
what I'm
also
talking
a-
about. We would
I
start
know
playing
that's
the
what I'm
song
saying.
right away.
It's not really
Already
good
knows what's
anymore
up,
because
yeah.
we have too
Yeah,
many.
you can
running
name
out.
songs that too if you want to.
Yeah.
That is.
Dude,
like
we
an
just
option.
I think it's because the songs aren't like done. Like we're doing stuff like this, so we're still working shopping it. Like
Yeah.
came up with awesome shit today. Like
Yeah,
that was
right. Like that
crazy.
lead fucking line, dude.
Yeah,
Tasty.
Yeah.
Very, very
Delicious. I might say.
gourmet.
Gourmet.
Hashtag gourmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I just a couple more things. You guys doing good? Do we need?
Hanging in there.
in
Doing
there.
great.
I want to talk about settlers.
Also want to talk about No Show Tom.
No Show Tom. What's No Show
Always.
Tom doing?
Yeah.
Every time we're
Where's
in
Tom?
we're trying to play Catan.
Trying to play Catan?
Oh, every time we
That
That might just be scheduled.
that's-
Well, didn't you flip the board over?
No. Nobody. For the record, nobody's ever flipped any
Okay.
boards.
Yeah, you
Flipping
know
the
what?
board-
Hey, wait. If they flip the board, you'd
one
never hear
person
about
flipped
them.
the
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know they exist.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
know they existed. We'd be
Because,
like, our friend who?
For subscription to Friendship canceled.
Right, because Catan is you settle down for a game and you just play it through. Damn it, like
Yeah.
you don't win them all.
Or you can like leave if you need
yeah,
to.
nobody's ever
Nice.
quit, but we've all come close. I think
Well, because that was the rule, right? So if someone rage quits like that, then they
No,
just,
it's
that's
like-
fine,
yeah.
but you just can't play
Well, you
ever
just, I
again.
think
It's like one of those
unofficial
mythical
rule that nobody's
rules
gonna
that-
call you next time we play Catan.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that you're
It's
bad.
more like
it's just
that.
that you're not who I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
when we play
exactly,
Catan.
It's
exactly.
not
So,
Unofficially blacklisted.
we're not. Yeah, it's unofficially blacklisting,
Yeah.
which
It's
makes our
lot
Catan's games
nicer.
sound intense, and they are.
Yeah, we had a great day recently with the polar vortex.
Oh, Great
Negative-
day.
negative 30 degrees, and we had a crazy, awesome Catan day with you guys over here. It was
that was great.
that was
But-
fantastic.
but-
Yeah, dude, that was
Nice
what
and
else?
toasty.
What else
Yeah.
would we be doing
It's
on
one of
a
the best
Polar
Wednesdays
Vortex Day?
in a while.
In drinking,
Super good.
Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
spilling.
Thanks,
a Bloody
Foz.
Mary.
I spilled one. Wait, no. Actually, you know what? I'm at 50% responsible for the spill because I put it down and then
Yeah.
Carter kicked it.
It takes two to tango.
It takes two to spill.
So
fucking,
And it's but
Bloody Mary.
it's unavoidable every time we've ever had anything in our living room.
It's gonna spill.
It's just we
It's
always
gonna
have
spill.
spills.
Oh,
Because
that's what the
it's-
wood's for.
Because it's we
Soaks it up.
We always
That's
give
why we
people
don't have
drinks-
carpet.
We give people drinks before
Yeah,
we
exactly.
give them tables, and that's the problem.
Hashtag
we always
don't
realize
carpet.
it when it's too late.
Right.
So if we want to get any sponsorships from Bloody Marys
Oh,
or
Catan.
Settlers,
Hams. That's our drink.
Hams is our
Yeah.
stream sponsor. Throw that out there.
Does
You
anyone
get it.
just like make straight up Bloody Marys, or is it
It's like
just
that
Bloody
Oprah
Mary?
thing. You
just
throw
Bloody
it
Mary
in the
concept,
and
the
bunch of hams on the
concept.
back.
Sponsor me
Bloody
by
Mary yourself.
Hams.
Bloody Mary.
all right,
English
just
Mary.
the last thing, and we're gonna ask every band that we ever have. What was your guys' worst show ever?
I have a unique in my own story for that, but I'm trying to think of our collective one.
Okay,
I'll
like
tell mine.
let's
Mine's horrible. Mine's
Come on,
like mine.
like
fucked
worst
with me for
show
a
we
while.
ever played, or like worst experience at a show.
I've had like 2, man. I've had many
Because
bad
there's
shows.
we played a lot of shows.
I shouldn't say that. Yeah, no.
Like there's definitely
What's the best story?
Our worst show.
okay.
Me.
The first show we ever played, it's like I fall. The first
Yeah,
time.
I was gonna
What?
say, or Emma's basement that one time.
I was thinking that one,
yeah,
too.
I know. That one's like
But
just kind of
those are both awful experiences.
Like, just
You can
bad
tell 'em both. You can
experiences.
tell 'em both.
If they're the
I don't even know
the
how to-
funniest story.
The funniest one's probably the first one, like the like I fall one.
I'm not even sure. Like we were just fucking young, man.
All right, so when we were like 16, it was our first show. We played at Penny Road Pub. Anybody
Oh,
ever played
in the
there,
basement of
We played.
Penny
Oh
Road.
yeah.
Wait, where?
Penny Road Pub.
Up
Oh,
in
yeah.
Barrington. Yeah.
All right, so we're like, first of all, we got there like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I guess right now. I just remember.
We got there like 4 o'clock. We left early from school. We were so excited to play this fucking show. It's like our first venue show
Was
we
that
ever
a
played.
weekday?
Oh yeah, it was like Wednesday.
Totally. Yeah.
It was like Wednesday. We were the second band. Like okay, yeah. So we get the show. We're waiting in the parking lot first of all for like 2 hours before anybody
That's
gets
so
there.
early. Like.
We meet these guys. We're like, yeah, they're pretty cool. They're probably like 20, 24, 25, like older. We think they're pretty cool. We're like waiting. They're playing first. Like mind you, like my grandma, like my whole family is here.
Yeah, my whole family's here.
Like everybody's there, right? And then we realized that their band plays with a laptop as their drummer, and it's like a hardcore metal band, right? So it's just like tracks of like hardcore
like
drums,
blast
like
beats and shit. Yeah.
like while they're just soloing guitar, and then they have a singer, and the singer starts playing, and he's like, and it's like okay, it's like not the best, but it's like kind of it's all right. And he starts headbanging, right? He like puts his foot up on the monitor. He headbangs. He like and he bangs his face on his knee, breaks his nose,
Straight up.
breaks his nose, and he's like, and then he just keeps headbanging, and then there's blood everywhere, all over the mic,
All over the drum set.
all over our drummer's drum set.
Yeah.
My family is like there. We're like
Grandma's mortified.
We're,
What's he saying?
he goes, it's not a show without a little blood, and like in the movie, like,
We did reggae rock at the time. Like we were really
we
chill.
played like Sublime shit, like, and we're like sitting off the side, like
So
the
that's
side
your
of the stage.
first show, so you guys just
That was our
We're like,
first show
oh
together.
my god!
It's just a
It's not the
regular
pace.
rock
And then we get to
show. Just
we like go up to
figure
play, and there's blood like all over the microphone,
All over the mic,
drum
yeah, I had
kit.
to get a new
the,
mic,
The
you
drum,
know?
the snare is like spackled with blood, and we're like, holy shit! So that was like the worst. It was like hilarious. That pretty much prepped me for anything to happen.
Yeah.
I would say from then on out, like
That's a good. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
your worst show, though. Or
That was their worst.
Yeah,
his
so-
worst
no,
show.
that wasn't.
My-
It wasn't even a bad show.
my
It was
worst
just like the
show?
That's a
craziest,
crazy story.
crazy experience. Like,
Yeah,
ever
that was
show.
It wasn't bad. It was just wild.
That is
That is wild.
We've definitely played some bad shows, but I don't think we've ever like tanked.
Would you
I played
ever-
one
would you
where
Tyler
I was
said-
doing a this is fucking weird, but it was like it's gonna be a weird story. But my dad's friend was having a Christmas party, right? A bunch of friends, and his band was playing there, and they're like, "Hey, go up there, do a Christmas song." I said, "Oh, sure." I had never done anything with just me and a guitar and vocals, right? I was very young again, and I was gonna do a cover of I saw Mama Kissing Santa Claus that I had done, and I'd come up with a whole rendition. I came up with the lead line that I was gonna fucking do in the middle of the chords and shit. I was very excited about this, right? I got up there, it's families, kids, all around, just me. I get up, his band is played. I'm gonna do my thing, and I start playing it. Within the first couple of notes and the first couple of words of the verse, I fucked up, and I just stopped and I went, fuck. And that was that, like it was just the vibe in there just changed because it's just families, it's just a very wholesome environment. And I just cursed and that threw me off and suddenly I had no clue what to do. I was like, nah. So I played a little thing I had previously written that was like a verse and a chorus and then I was like, okay.
Reggae rock.
I finished up, I went up to my dad, I was like, we gotta go. Like that was just horrible. And I carried those
then you started bleeding
lyrics
out
and
your
those
eyes.
chords in my guitar case for a very long time as a reminder to just fucking keep, when you think you don't need to practice it anymore, run it again. Just run one more time, and yeah,
Good advice.
yeah. I did carry those with me for a while though. It's, yeah, and that's like I said, not a great story, just a fucking awkward one,
bad.
To this day, he
Yeah,
still
right.
says "fuck" on stage in the microphone.
To this day, he watches his language.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah, weird story to end on. You're welcome, everybody.
do you have something you'd rather end on?
There's a lot.
Do you want to
Yeah.
sing "I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus"?
Redemption. All right, redemption. You need to have like a redemption part of the show.
Get on my
damn it.
guitar, Foz.
But you need to practice.
I have no idea what the chords are to that song right now. This was years
So you
ago.
haven't been able to
I
practice.
will practice that song and I will come back and redeem myself.
All right, next
Christmas time
Next Christmas,
or
you guys heard it.
holiday.
We will
do it.
have.
I could do it for
Christmas
any other
podcast.
holiday.
We'll do a Christmas podcast.
Live podcast.
With
Yo,
Tyler.
just remember podcast. Remember Alexa reminder.
I'm gonna
something.
come back and I'm gonna just butcher. I'm gonna,
Well, that's the
all
first
right.
one, but then we'll do some Christmas.
Well, we're gonna get all
We'll do
your,
some other
we're gonna
Christmas.
get all your
Grandma,
family
so
in
you better
here.
get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone just stand around and watch me silently while I like. All right, I'm gonna try it again.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for
Well,
coming.
thanks for
guys.
having us, man. This was a lot
we
of
had
fun
a really
today.
good time. We'll see you guys again. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you.
Deuces.
Wonder why the stars even shine with your eyes so bright. And I wonder why the seas even swell, they're not as swell.